What's up internet, Kevin here with TLD bringing you my review of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance for the Xbox 360 and PS3. Now having been a longtime fan of the Metal Gear Solid franchise, the release of Rising: Revengeance was a bit of a conundrum for me. On the one hand, I knew that what I was about to play would be nothing at all like the series that I'm used to, and while the writing and storyline style will be there, its placement and overall concept was a little questionable to me. On the other hand, I am a big fan of Platinum games, in particular Bayonetta, so I knew that even though the storyline wasn't exactly what I would want it to be, the core gameplay that I would still enjoy is still there to pull me in, even if it's not traditional Metal Gear. In the end, the sentiment proved to be all too true. If you're a hardcore Metal Gear fan and that's what you're looking for, you're just gonna walk away disappointed from this title. However, if you go into this with the thought process that it's a Platinum Games title, featuring a Metal Gear Solid style storyline, you'll actually find yourself to be pleasantly surprised, with a great, albeit short, single-player campaign, with a healthy dose of difficulty and mechanics that need mastering. First off, let's just get the ugliest part of this game out of the way. It's short. Really short. We're talking about the fact that you can sit down and play it in a single playthrough, and even then it only takes about 5 hours. Now while this alone isn't enough to necessarily tear the game apart, it is definitely always a source of worry for some people when you can beat a game the very first day you get it, especially that quickly. However, the emphasis of this title is not on having a long-term storyline with character growth, rather it's focused instead on giving players a hard, difficult challenge that requires you to play constantly to not only master the basics, but also get the highest score possible when doing a playthrough. In fact, whenever you finish any particular part of the game, you'll immediately be given a score in terms of your performance. In this sense, the main emphasis of the game is not on doing a single playthrough for 5 hours. In fact, if that's all you do, you're basically doing it wrong. The main idea is that you should be playing it again and again, challenging higher difficulties and trying to get the highest score possible in each one. In fact, once you start challenging on its highest difficulty, Revengeance, the game can get downright ridiculous in terms of its difficulty. As opposed to the majority of other action-adventure games out there that emphasize combo size and style, Metal Gear Rising's gameplay instead focuses more on timing and precision. Players don't have a get-out-of-attack-free card by just doing a dodge roll day after day. Instead, your main form of defense is a parry maneuver that requires you to attack in the same direction as an attacking enemy, with poor timing rewarding you with a sword to the face. Plus, while combos are the main means of setting up your enemies for kill moves, the game's cut mode is its method of rewarding player skill, with severing limbs with accurate slicing being much more important on higher difficulties than just trying to blindly combo things to death. As is common with most action games these days, skilled combat will be rewarded with battle points that can increase your health, damage, or unlock costume changes like wearing a poncho and sombrero. It happens. The game also tries to implement a small degree of stealth mechanics, mostly just as a homage to its parent series since your main method of hiding is inside cardboard boxes, though these parts were in my opinion completely unnecessary, and it seems as though the game actually rewards you for bypassing them entirely to just cut up all your enemies, thus earning you more battle experience for leveling. I'm honestly surprised at how much fun I actually had with the game's combat system. At first I was very much disappointed with the lack of number of options when you're only really given 2 different attack buttons, the ability to jump, run, and enter cut mode. That's pretty much it for most of the game, and even when you unlock new weapons, their options are only limited to 2 or 3 different combo moves apiece. However, as I got farther in the game, what I realized is more important is actually just a mastery of those basics. Where this shines best is the game's boss battles, which for the most part are excellently done and offer a good mix of needing to play defensively and offensively, learning enemy patterns and using your cut mode carefully to hit weak points when most important. As for the game's story, I wasn't a huge fan, although a lot of it was clearly done in a tongue-in-cheek manner. The overall story and events almost seemed like a parody of what happened in past Metal Gear Solid games, with a combination of either pointing out the over-complexity of the past game's convoluted storytelling, or by just simply having scenes that utterly tear apart what was considered physically possible before, with some parts being utterly ridiculous in terms of how effective a sword can be against a gigantic mech. In many ways, it feels as though this game is in an entirely separate universe from past titles, like some kind of crazy pipe dream Raiden's having after the resolution of Metal Gear Solid 4. It's not an overall terrible story, it's just one that seems hard to take serious, though I imagine that was part of the point. The problem with Metal Gear Rising is that it does an awful lot to alienate hardcore Metal Gear fans, in particular its lack of length, stealth mechanics, and serious storytelling. However, if you go into this expecting it for what it is, an over-the-top action game that will challenge your mastery of the basics, you'll be surprised with what it has to offer, regardless of what few flaws it has, like environmental details or its over-the-top absurd storytelling. Yes, it may not have the best storytelling out of the series, but it's actually kind of endearing when you view it in the form of a parody, one that both mocks and highlights the achievements of its predecessors, and at the same time highlights its overall over-the-top action style. Well, that's our review of Metal Gear Rising. If you guys want a chance to try this game out for yourself, check out the link in the description for pricing and availability. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button as it is the easiest way to help out the channel, and is always appreciated. And if you have yet to do so, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest content like reviews and unboxings, as well as follow me on Twitter at TLD_Kevin to follow my up-to-date thoughts on what games I'm playing. As always guys, I'm Kevin for TLD, thank you so much for watching our videos, and I'll see you next time.